And welcome back. I am now joined on set by Catherine Moyer. She is the CEO and General Manager of Pioneer Communications. Good to see you today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
How are you today?
Not too bad.
How are things in Ulysses?
Great. We got some rain last night, so
Yeah,
everybody's
everybody
pretty
got
excited.
a little bit of rain, and I don't know. I slept through it,
Wow.
but I have the bedtime of a 4-year-old, so it doesn't.
So you also missed the end of the Royals game.
Yeah, I did. I couldn't make it to the end. I wanted to so bad, I just couldn't do it.
Well, nice try.
Yeah, it was. I got up this morning and went, oh, hey, we won.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling very good about our chances earlier on. But anyway. Hey, so you guys got a bunch of things coming up you are doing over at Pioneer Communications.
We do. I think, for us, we've realized that our customers are really wanting faster internet speeds and more bandwidth and more data. I think everybody's moving more and more to the web to do the things of their daily life, whether it's Facebook or email or streaming Netflix.
Everybody wants more power, don't they?
I know.
I want fast. I want it now.
Right now,
yes.
immediate.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we've been making a lot of changes. We've built fiber in Ulysses. We're building fiber in Hugoton and Lakin currently. But we also recognize that fiber project isn't happening super fast, so we started to do some things with our cable. And with our cable network, what we did is we did an all-digital upgrade. So to keep it somewhat non-technical, basically it opened up a lot of bandwidth for use in internet. And so we did that throughout our entire service territory about the last year and a half.
So the complete system is now digital?
It's all digital.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's great. So it's opened up the ability for us to do DOCSIS 3. And DOCSIS 3, to keep it somewhat not technical, is really faster internet speed over the cable system, which allowed us to get faster speeds to our communities that didn't yet have fiber.
Yeah, because that digital signal takes up less of the bandwidth.
Correct.
And so with the cable system, that allows more internet to go back and forth so everybody can go, woohoo, this is faster.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So we started to roll out those speeds a couple of weeks ago, and I've had really good responses from people.
So, okay, let's go back to the fiber thing, though, because in a lot of these towns, what you're doing is you're trying to do, well, not trying, but you are doing fiber to the home, correct?
Correct. And it's, for us, it's a very expensive proposition. I'm sure people understand fiber is expensive. The construction to actually put it in is expensive. So for us, it becomes something that has been very slow and steady. You can imagine Southwest Kansas doesn't have the huge population of, say Wichita or Garden City, or even Kansas City. Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it makes the economics of it makes it a little bit more difficult. So it's slow and steady. But again, if you don't have access to the fiber, in the meantime, solution is your DOCSIS 3.
So and now the fiber, is this all overhead, underground, or how are you doing?
Combinations depends on what part of town you're in, and depends on what the network looks like there, but both.
So going to the homes though, it's going underground. Oh,
it's yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And people, when they get the fiber, they're going to be going woohoo, because hey, speed of light.
Yes, speed of light.
Pretty hard to get anything faster than speed of light over fiber.
Exactly.
So how far along are you with that? I mean, what communities are you? I mean, you have Ulysses pretty well done.
Yep. And then we have built out several nodes in Hugoton that we're currently now hooking customers up to the fiber. We're engineering and stringing things in Lakin. No customers on that yet, but that's
we're rigging and stringing. I'm out there in the bucket truck and hanging on the poles with the guys.
Exactly. And the guys are getting a lot of questions. They end up in somebody's alley, and people are like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing?
What is this?"
And really what they want is faster internet.
Sure. Everybody wants faster internet.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what was all involved in turning the complete cable system over to digital?
There's a lot of things involved. There's a lot of things involved in our central office. There's a lot of things involved out in particular DSLAMs and small remote things in the other towns. So again, not getting super technical.
Yes, give everybody like the dummy version of what is a DSLAM.
Well, it's basically a small thing of equipment.
It's a building where everything comes in and then it gets distributed from there.
Yeah, so,
okay.
See,
all right.
Yeah, there.
See,
you got a better explanation than I did.
Oh, tell everybody what a DSLAM is. Yeah, after we're done, she's going to go right upside my head.
No, but there's all of those pieces involved, but then there's also additional pieces involved in our central office in Ulysses, because I think most people understand all the communities that we serve, we bring everything back to Ulysses and aggregate and then send out in multiple different ways. So we are geographically diverse when we head out of the Ulysses office, because we have several different providers, several different routes, and the point of that is if something gets cut or if a route fails, then we have a secondary or a third route to get out.
Redundancy
is key.
Yeah, because I think people don't understand, to get signals here, I mean, it's got to come, there's only a few ways you can get it here.
Right.
I mean, basically everything in this part of the world has to come either from Kansas City or Wichita or someplace to the east.
Correct.
And so you've got to try and find a back door to get in case something happens over here.
Exactly.
So, and
We
people,
like
I don't
redundancy.
think, yeah, I
we
don't
like
think
rings.
people realize that.
We like different providers. So if one provider goes down, the other provider is still there. So all of that gets back to the Ulysses central office and gets aggregated. And I think at that point, then there's also upgrades that need to be made in the internet core in Ulysses. And that's the part of the project that we're on now.
Okay. Well, and then was it last week? You had a little, you had a little bump.
We did. It was, frankly, it was a pretty big bump, depending on what customer you were and whether you were impacted. Some customers were not impacted. Some customers were impacted, which led to part of the problem of troubleshooting it. But the long and short of it is that we are in the process of replacing our internet core, upgrading it for a better experience, faster speeds, and everything that's going along with all the things we're making, all the changes we're making in the field. So as we started to do that, we've been working for about 3 months with outside engineers, with outside vendors, with their technical teams to plan this big core upgrade. Because when we do a core upgrade, we're taking everybody offline, upgrading all the equipment, and bringing them all back online, and we know that's a really big deal.
And those types of things you usually try and schedule, say, on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at midnight,
right?
So that you're going to affect the least amount of users.
People, right? And if you look at our traffic patterns, our least amount of users generally from the 12:01 a.m. timeframe to about 6 a.m. And so, I mean, that makes sense, right? Most people operate during the day, and those are our maintenance windows, midnight to 6 a.m. And so that's what we were doing, and that's what we were doing last week. We did the major change. We did some soft tests, I guess, before we did the major change on early Thursday morning. Those all went well. We were pretty confident. We go into Thursday morning, everything goes well. About 5 a.m., it all starts to go downhill. So we worked with our outside engineers, we worked with our vendors and their tech teams, and spent a lot of time. Had a pretty good amount of confidence that we were going to be able to bring it all back up. By the end of business on Thursday, we figured out that wasn't happening. So what we did is roll back to our old core, and we rolled back to the old core. It wasn't super happy about seeing all that traffic again. Like, what are you doing to me? And that continued to be the problem. I will say that for most of Thursday, we had about 70% of our internet subscribers out of service, which is very frustrating. I know is extremely frustrating to the customer, but extremely frustrating to us as well, because we want it to work. Yeah. We want it to work all the time.
You thought it was going to work.
We thought it was going to work. We thought it was going to work for 100%. When we switched and rolled back, we had about 70% of people working on Friday and about 30% people out. Problem is that 30% of people intermittent. They were up, they were down, they were in, they were out. It wasn't particular technology. It wasn't just fiber or just DSL or just cable modem. It wasn't even Ulysses only. It was Ulysses and Hugoton and Satana and Sublette and everybody else. And so it was very hard to try to figure out what was happening, which unfortunately lasted all day Friday, all day Saturday. About midnight on Saturday, we brought in some additional pieces of equipment, turned some things up. About 1:30 in the morning on Sunday, we started to bring everybody back online, and it's been pretty steady since.
That makes for a long weekend.
Oh, it was brutal.
And what people don't understand, and in order to keep up with the technology, when you change out a core router, that's just what it says it is. It's the core router. Yeah, it's the heart of the whole thing.
Right.
And so when that kind of lays down, then everything kind of goes, I don't want to play anymore.
Exactly. And then things start to not talk to each other, and things fall off.
Yeah, nobody wants to play fair, do they?
Right. And it's so. I mean, I think the important piece of it is probably, I shouldn't say more frustrating, but I think it was more frustrating to us, to the people that were actually working the weekend and not getting any sleep and staying away from their families all weekend. It was a beautiful weekend outside, which is unfortunate. But those people worked very, very hard. And I think that's the most important piece, is that we are concerned. We want to be that provider. It will never be 100% fail-safe. We know that, but we want to be the most steady core provider that we can be. And this is extremely frustrating for us, though I know it was also extremely frustrating for our customers.
But you got it up, you got it going, and you guys are moving forward.
Yes,
You're working on your fiber, you got your cable all switched over to digital, you're working on getting your core routers and everything switched out, so everything is going up.
It is.
So there you go. Right?
Yes.
All right. Catherine, thanks for coming over today.
Thanks for having us.
This is interesting, and I hope somebody learned something about a core router, because that is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
All right. Thanks, Catherine.
Thanks, Chris.